The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
If you're planning on buying or selling a home, the real estate crew's got news for you at the Real Estate House Party.
With attorney Rick Carter,
Real Estate House Party.
paralegal Kathy Holtshouser,
Real Estate House Party. Come in, have fun.
and comedian Tony V. Now, here's real estate attorney Rick Carter.
Welcome to the Real Estate House Party. Thanks for joining us, and I am scared today, I'll tell you that.
Me too.
Why?
Me too.
I've never seen you
Yeah, a
scared.
little nervous. Yeah, I'm fearing for myself. Thank you for John Morroni for coming on.
Not
Appreciate
a problem. You just got me off the beach.
He was busy watching Shark Week.
You know
He
what it
has
was?
like a million loans in the pipeline.
Right.
Doesn't have a care in the world.
Right.
I was in line for getting a hot dog. The line was too long, so I said, you know what? Let me come here first, and I'll go back.
Did you go see the sand sculptures?
I did.
They're unbelievable.
Oh my
huh?
God! Yeah,
Yeah,
they're like
they're
Michelangelo
they're
came
unbelievable.
back.
Yeah,
Aren't they
yeah.
I
unbelievable?
have a picture.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was a real building. And I'm not
Unbelievable.
exaggerating.
Did you
I
see
thought
the clock?
Yes.
Oh, the
Did you go
clock.
down
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
I was there this
You
morning.
missed the pass yesterday.
Unreal.
Yeah.
I saw your
Unreal.
building, your new building, new office.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, you did see
Yeah,
it?
got the balcony and everything. That's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Revere doesn't know what's going to hit them.
Oh,
When
they're
CLO
lucky.
pulls
We're
in.
we're getting a new office in Revere,
Yeah,
Mass.
right on the beach.
Right
and
on
you
the
should see
beach.
my lawn chair.
I
Right on the deck.
I am
It's very
with you.
similar to the
You
one
are
she has in
brilliant.
Salem, New Hampshire.
The deck
Brilliant.
isn't in the rear. It's in the...
It's
What?
brilliant. Where everything should be.
Well, don't laugh. I had a customer that just bought a condo.
Yeah.
I said, what are you going to do with it? He goes, I'm going to make it an Airbnb. It's in Revere. Honey, pack your bags. We're going to Revere.
Yeah. Better be someone from out of state.
If you talk to anyone in Revere, they are so adamant the water is that much better now.
Yes, the cleanest water on the whole East Coast.
Yeah,
That's what they claim.
tell us.
I
But
don't know.
visually, I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it either. But who cares?
when you dove in today and it's some old Sabre car.
That's a bump in my head. Yeah.
Well, look who else we have joining us. One of the
Not
best.
Tony V.
It's not
No.
Tony V. It is Christine Hurley.
Oh, thank you guys.
It's
We love you, Christine. Thanks for
You are a
coming.
delight, my
They-
Kathy. I wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't miss it.
you almost had to sit in between the
She,
two of
I
us.
know.
she thinks I'm a delight.
You
Yes.
are a delight, honey. You are a
Yes.
delight.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Don't you listen to him.
He thinks I'm delightful,
Yeah,
right?
he does.
Yep.
Of something.
Delightless.
Lifeless. Yes.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us.
I
They always
wouldn't
used to, all the comedians used to introduce you as the number one female comedian
Yep.
in the area.
Yep.
They're going to have to drop the female part.
I think so because
Yeah,
I've had
you're
the change.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, or that you've gone up in the range.
I've had it
Yes.
filleted.
You've been filleted, okay.
This is a live show, Christine.
Well, I got a question for you.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
John.
my
All
love.
right.
I've seen your show, which is
Yes.
awesome. But when you, no matter what the crowd is, do you, like first minute or whatever, kind of figure out what you have for a crowd?
Yep.
And then she tells the same raunchy jokes
Exactly.
again.
It's the
And then you
Doesn't
just
matter.
dive in.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but sometimes there's crowds that can't
handle the
it.
ring.
Yeah, so yeah,
The ring.
Like the, among
We
other
love when
things.
you say that.
I know.
So you're not doing
No.
a cannonball in that crowd.
Not really. No, not really.
Those
And then the
plumbers
other-
don't seem like a good crowd for you, too. The plumbers?
Oh, the plumbers are the worst.
Right.
And they have me every year for their Christmas party. I'm like, what is wrong
Well,
with
they
you?
like you.
Why? You are so miserable.
can't-
miserable.
You can't tell the Chris Parker joke either.
No. They don't. They're just
don't
like.
like
We
that?
love that joke.
They're like.
That's
what
my
do
favorite joke.
Yeah,
I've
that's-
tried it.
I told you.
I haven't
tried
heard
it.
it.
Brilliant.
Can
I
you,
got
can
my
you tell
daughter.
it now? What is it?
Kathy, you tried the joke
know if I-
or the experience?
Either or.
I tried, with the principal of the school, to get my kid in the
Perfect.
classes that I wanted
Perfect.
them in. And
I was
yeah.
just at a 4th of July cookout with the two of them, Parker
Oh.
and Nolan. I took
Oh.
a nice picture with them.
I know, everyone thinks those are made
Oh
up.
no, they are the real. They are the real deal.
So is any of that story made up or not?
No, and they are. Nope, none of it's made up, and I'm exhausted.
every year.
Yeah, every year. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, God.
All right,
not
for our
again.
viewers, we have to fill in a few of the blanks. You have to see Christine's show to
Yes.
find out why she's exhausted.
Yes, and you'll know.
And it has something to do with getting her kids on the softball,
Well,
baseball
she had stuff
team.
to do. She had a
Gotta do
full
what-
box of wine
Right.
in the car.
I'm someone's mother. Exactly. Yeah.
You had to get back to drinking your wine.
I absolutely had. I had tick, 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 tick.
You didn't have
Let's
time
go.
to
Let's
stand
You
in
go.
line.
had it cut in front of the Lululemon girls.
You bet I did. Days of Our Lives was right
the
up my
yummy
back.
mummies.
Yeah, all the yummy mummies. Oh, God.
I could do
can
her
you
skit
stand
like
it?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
awesome.
my God.
Yeah, word for word.
With their perfect little lives and their,
and their Starbucks.
You see
and their Starbucks.
and their Facebook
and their
conversations.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. They're perfect kids and never, oh, my God.
But why do they all have divorce attorneys on speed dial?
They do. Of course they do. Of course they do.
You should
do,
see
honey.
stuff on Facebook. It's just what
not
people
real.
want
Yeah.
you to think
It's
about their
the
lives.
most annoying. I can't do it. It's
Yeah.
too depressing.
Yeah.
It's too depressing.
When you're sitting home in your pajamas,
Yeah,
eating
with-
bonbons,
yeah,
drinking
exactly.
wine, and
Like,
everybody's out water skiing.
Everybody's
and
going to Jamaica. I'm like, what?
It's not
I
true.
get why it's
You know, why not
depressing.
us? You know?
Right.
I'm like, ooh, someone snuck toilet paper into her food stamp order today. That's like my big.
Or when you're on a
Hooray.
diet,
Yeah.
and then
You're
they're
all-
showing
all
what they're eating
so-
and
so
drinking.
thin.
And
Oh God, I hate.
You've nipped
people.
that in the bud with Facebook,
You
though.
bet I
I know
have.
you have.
Yeah.
I've seen some of your comments.
Oh yeah, I hate people.
What was
don't
funny
think
when
I'm
you
friends
talk
with
about Facebook, I was taking sailing lessons this year. And,
Oh my God! Don't tell
I
her
was
that.
I was looking for you last
yeah.
night
Because
on
we're
the
doing all
harbor.
your loans, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
slaving away, and I call him, and I hear same
The
with Tony
water.
V. But Tony V just sent me an exasperating video today.
Yeah.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I'm still a novice at it, but this one night, they call it members night, there was a person a captain, and we were on the bigger sailboat, and then he's like, we were out in the open waters, it was safe. He goes, John, just get behind the steering wheel, start steering, I'll take a picture of you. And I was like, cool. And then I took all the pictures of the boat and all that, and I took, a bunch of the pictures, uploaded to Facebook, and I just said my new hobby, which I meant was sailing. Everybody took it like I just bought that boat, and you should see the comments.
friends.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh my God, you're awesome! Yeah, I want to, take me." So it's like perception can become.
yeah.
That's not how I meant it, but
100%,
when
right.
and then when
100%.
then I went home and saw what I posted. I go, "Oh yeah, I might as well have a lottery ticket under that too."
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to own a boat?
Do I want to own one?
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
We own a boat.
I know you do. That's what
the
made me
Hurleys.
think of it.
Yeah, we got a
The
big,
Hurleys?
big pimpin' 28-footer.
Oh. Here we
Is
go.
it a speedboat?
Yeah, it is not.
What is it?
It's
like a sailboat?
it's
or?
a Sea Ray.
Oh, all right.
Sea Ray.
Yeah, that's the name
Perfect.
of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's nice. It's a cruising.
A cruiser.
Like a
Yeah.
leisure boat.
So tell us about the Hurleys on the boat. That must be an
That's a
experience.
good time. That's a good time.
I bet.
Because what we do is now the kids know how to drive, so Jimmy and I go on there and get rocked. And make the kids drive home. It's fantastic.
You've been hanging around Don Gavin too much.
Yes, we have. Yes, we get rocked. Exactly. We have a couple of cattails.
Oh, man.
You have a gambling problem?
I said, yeah.
So you've taught them how to drive now.
Yep. So they were
Is that the right term for a boat? Drive?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, when it's his sailing, he's
It's sailing. Sailing.
Yeah,
Okay.
sailing.
Yeah.
All right.
But I was confused
There's
about the
nothing like
steering wheel on a sailboat. Isn't it the rudder?
This was a
jib.
bigger one, so it was just the actual steering wheel.
Oh, I
yeah,
didn't
and they
know
got
the big
They got
ones
the
had-
tiller
Okay.
with the rudder
Yeah.
and all that.
Kathy got
you know.
shipwrecked once. Do you want to tell them about that?
Oh, no. With
Okay.
Frank Kelly.
Yeah.
I've alluded to it on this show before, but we were stuck up in like Casco Bay or some bay in Maine that I never even heard of.
It's the word. We've been grounded a few
Have you?
times. Yeah, we've been. Yeah, actually, we get.
Is that anything to do with the two of you sleeping downstairs?
Could have been, but we landed on a sandbar and the boat actually tipped over.
Oh.
So
That was scary.
It was scary, but you look back at it. So 3 days later, swear to God, we're at a Little League game, and everyone in the bleachers is showing pictures of this idiot whose boat was
They don't know it's you?
tipped over. No, isn't that terrible?
Yeah.
Look at those crazy people with their tipped over boat.
I feel for them.
Yeah, who would do that? Who would do that? How stupid. Oh, yeah.
Did you ever get a ticket for jet skiing? We'll talk about that one later on.
I have not.
Yeah.
Did Kathy?
I
No,
did.
I didn't.
Oh, you did
I
you?
got pulled over by a land policeman Yeah, I was.
Well, there's one thing about
land police.
There's one thing about Rick Carter that you must know.
He's a daredevil.
Ooh,
He's a
crazy.
daredevil, and he doesn't
Crazy.
like rules.
Well, I didn't know what.
That's why I completely was. I knew we were
we're
sisters from another
that's right.
mister.
We're so-
If
come on.
there's rules in place,
He says nope.
yep,
I never
Not
knew
today.
what no waking was. I got to tell you that.
The rules
then you
are-
shouldn't be on a
It
jet
means
ski.
sleep
Yeah,
while
I know.
you're-
That's the
sleep
real
while-
rule.
Sleep while you're skiing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No wakey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
rules are there
I'm
are
flying
no rules.
along, and I had my son on the back, and he's never been on a jet ski ever since then. And I'm
You're
flying,
kidding.
and I see the cop car flying. I said to my son, "I wonder where they're going. Let's go down and see where they go." So I'm parallel to him, and he probably thought this is the easiest person to ever
Yeah.
pull over on a jet ski.
Yeah.
And you're
Right?
psyched that you caught him.
Right? How fast are you going? I don't know.
How fast for you?
How fast? Yeah.
Unbelievable. That is it. We have a friend that was out on their boat 4th of July. They got a $2,700 fine
For what?
Really?
for going too fast.
Oh, they
In a
did.
wake zone.
That's
a
what I
little-
was wondering,
They had
yeah.
a little liquor on the
Oh,
boat too,
okay.
so they had
Oh.
$2,700.
Wow.
So they got
Really?
off cheap.
That's the end. That's the end of their boating for the summer.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what I don't understand? I was up in Winnipesaukee, and I noticed they rent these boats. They're like little rafts with a bar on them. It's just a floating
Right.
bar.
Right.
Isn't that the greatest
Right.
little thing?
But, you know, how do you explain operating oh, no, I wasn't under
I
the
think,
influence.
Right.
I think it's legal up there. You're talking about the state that
Well, you
has
could
liquor
do
stores.
anything you want in New Hampshire.
Yeah, you can.
live
Liquor
free.
stores
or
on the
die.
highway. Liquor
Right.
stores on
Except
the
talk on a phone. I mean, that's your
Yeah.
biggest rule in
I
New
know.
Hampshire.
Isn't that hilarious?
Like the cop that pulled me over.
Right,
He
right.
goes, "Are you aware of the hand-free laws in the state of New Hampshire?"
Did
And
you
I'm
say
looking at him
apparently
like,
not?
Yeah.
I go, "I wasn't on the phone."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I saw this motorcyclist the other day, and the girl in the back, and no helmets. They get the big gulp, the size of their head. And
That probably had vodka in it.
Yeah.
Like your drink.
They
Smoke-
psh,
what's in your drink anyway?
it's
Oh, I didn't need
Slim
to say that.
Fast
it's
and vodka.
watered down Chambord. Not too much water. Not too much. We went out and had a couple of cocktails last night. We had to
Couple of cocktails.
yeah, a couple of cocktails last night. So I ordered a Red Bull with raspberry vodka. That's
Oh,
delicious.
really? Oh,
yeah.
That's delicious.
I'm sure you were a treat.
Like right out of the hood. Oh, was I a treat? I was a treat.
You were in
Jimmy,
the front-
Jimmy said on the third one, I was calling the bartender. Her name was Tam. I was calling her Tama Lama. The third one, I just said, "Hit me." I said, "Less Red Bull, more vodka, Tama Lama."
When she
That
goes
looks
aw-
like,
when she goes away, she calls her waitress Anita.
Anita. No, we had a waitress in the Bahamas, wherever we were, and her name was Anita. And at the first, I'm like, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you, Anita."
And then
before
it's
you
like,
know it, I'm like,
Anita.
Anita, drink, Anita.
and we were screaming, "Anita, drink!"
That's brilliant, Kat. Good
that
job.
was probably not her name.
Good job. They don't care. They don't care.
Kathy, she gets a little bit wild after a few
That's okay.
Cosmos.
That's why I love her.
Yeah.
That's why I
I
love her.
do.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
She does all your lines at work.
Oh
you know,
my God,
Yeah.
honey!
all the
I
lines.
appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Thank God I have
yeah.
Kathy as my fan.
I wouldn't. I'm
God
not
love
nearly
her.
as funny, but
Oh,
they get a couple little
Oh,
laughs.
they get a
I
little
bet
laugh.
you
Yeah.
You're coming in
bet
next week as sub, aren't you? Subbing next week?
Sure, you want me to?
I would love to see you. Come on in.
You better kiss that Riviera off as goodbye, because I'm going to have you shut down in 3 days.
Can you bring the vodka?
Can I not?
Now, you used to work in a real estate office, right?
I did work at a real estate
How long
office.
were you there for?
The worst. I was on and off, honest to God, like 9 years.
Wow.
I used to call him.
They let you keep coming back?
It was amazing. The poor guy, Steve and Todd Webster, they own Success Real Estate down the South Shore.
Yeah.
And they'd try to fire me, and I'd be like, yeah. Okay. And then I'd
try.
Yeah, exactly. I'd come back the next day and
It's
be
like
at my
how
desk.
she tries to quit.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. You can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I quit and I come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I say I'm like their Brokeback Mountain. They couldn't quit me. Yeah, so they would say, Christine, we're gonna have to let you go. I'm okay, and then I'd come the next day like nothing happened. You'd be like,
You sound like George on Seinfeld.
that's exactly what I was like when he worked for Steinbrenner. Yeah, that's
They asked you to
I
do
was
stuff
a nightmare.
and you were too busy reading your book?
Oh,
or-
I was too. They would be like, "Will you type this purchase and sale today?" And I said, "Not today. Today's not a good day for that."
You want the whole thing signed?
Yeah, I'm like,
purchased?
can't you?
That's was another line of stealing. When Rick
have to
asked me
use
to
that
do
one.
something.
Can't you?
Can't you do it?
Can't
She
you?
does it with
Why do I have to
expression,
do it?
so
Yeah,
now she just
exactly.
she can
Why
verbalize
do I
it.
have to do it? I'm not making you money.
And when John Morroni calls up to ask us to do something, I'm going to say,
John,
can't you do it?
John?
Don't ask a question you don't want to hear the answer to.
Exactly.
Kathy was almost there because she's got the
Yeah.
but now she's got the actual term.
Exactly.
Can't you?
I always say note to self. Don't ever say, can I help?
I already learned that.
Yeah.
I never asked that.
I just used to keep a low profile up
Yeah,
front once
under
in a while.
my desk.
Pretty
I
much,
usually go under my
pretty
desk.
much. The phone would ring. I'd be like,
Yeah, we used to have this temp that
And I say, do you guys, anyone hear the phone ringing?
yeah, exactly. Anybody?
No, I don't hear it.
Should I?
so you wanted me to get that?
Should I used to work with this girl. She was,
Go ahead.
I don't know. She was so annoying. Her name was, I am not kidding you, Mary Maybe. So I used to say, well, what's your name in the phone book?
Yep.
Maybe Mary. She found me very not funny.
Last name was Maybe.
Her last name was Maybe. It was Mabey, but it sounded like, hey,
Yeah.
maybe.
Hey, maybe.
Hey, maybe, Mary.
So what finally put you over the top to get out of there?
What finally put me over the top to
The
get out of there?
Victoria's Secret catalog stopped coming.
That could have been it.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the heck happened?
It's always a trigger.
How did I ever leave there? That's a really good question.
No, that's all right.
You weren't
You know
like
what? I think I just
escorted out.
I guess it, yeah.
You know
And
what? You
taking
know
your
how you
keys.
black out the bad things. Good God, I really have no idea. I have no idea. I think I might have been escorted out. I think I might have been.
I can
Take
see
your
it.
keys and yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I think I just was like done. I just was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
It was. Yeah. It was.
Sean, that's see. I know it's
Oh, it's
hurtful.
hurtful.
I'm
I got
getting
a heart.
You have a heart.
I got a soul.
And that
That's-
hurts.
It hurts.
It does. Of
She
course
said
it does,
it's
honey.
painful.
Oh,
I know.
it
It's
does.
sad, huh?
Oh, honey. Well, you are lucky
This
to
is
have
why
her.
she's on probation.
That's,
for
I
the
thought
last-
you were going to say Prozac.
No,
I was going to say
that's next.
Here.
That's next.
Been there, done that, and
Here.
still doing
Yeah.
it.
I know I need some Prozac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're doing
So-
good. You're doing good.
Ed Sullivan wanted to know if
Yeah.
we had a subject, and you started
I have a subject
spouting
and-
out a subject, and I said, you better not do that until we get to the subject.
We
So
are
why don't you
17
tell
minutes
us?
in by my calculations, and we have not talked
Because
to
if
real
you don't
estate.
have a subject, I'm sure John does, because I see.
We're
I have
not
a
doing your,
trend. I
we're not
noticed
doing
a
your
trend.
105
No,
reasons.
I have a trend that
What?
I've been noticing.
Okay.
It's huge.
All right.
So it's happened to me about 4 or 5 times this year where the buyers would.
I'll tell you some trends.
He's talking, and you're interrupting. Go ahead, John.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you.
I feel so unsafe here. Go ahead, John.
This is a safe place.
She likes you.
Do you have
Yeah.
a safe word?
We do have a
Do you have a
safe word. Yeah.
My safe word is if we're out after a show and
Yeah.
Jimmy's tired and wants to go home and I'm
Yeah,
still
yeah.
there, our safe word is yellow.
Yellow?
That's true, yeah. So he'll be like,
Yeah.
yellow, So I used to say,
All right.
hello.
So now.
You know what mine is? When I want to go home, my husband's having fun at the bar. I just order the Uber. If you're coming home, you can get a ride. Otherwise, you're on your
Your
own.
safe word is
That's my safe sentence.
So
phrase, yeah.
Beautiful.
So if the four of us are hanging around and Jimmy Hurley's with us, and all of a
Right.
sudden he goes,
Yellow.
I think.
Yeah.
I think
Take
we're-
offense.
Yes.
We're
Take
gonna know.
offense. He
We're
wants
going to say, Christine, don't
Yeah,
leave.
he wants out. Take high offense to that.
All right, John Morroni, you have a trend.
Yeah, so it's happened about 4 or 5 times where the buyers had made an offer, it got accepted, and then some few days later, either during the home inspection or whatever, they back out. And so I was talking to someone else about it, and it turns out it's not buyer's remorse. What it is right now there's so much competition for buyers that they just don't even think, and they just put the offer in, then it gets accepted. People say they changed their mind, and the answer is no, they didn't change their mind. They just never made up their mind.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's
and
what's
it
going
is
on.
like buyer's remorse. You could compare it to buyer's remorse because
Right.
they paid way more than what
Yeah,
they
then they
wanted
figure it
to
out.
pay for. Right.
And then it's like they don't even think about anything. They just like, oh, got it accepted.
Well,
and
it's
then,
right. It's no longer getting the house they want. It's getting that winning offer.
Well,
yes.
They've been
it's-
rejected so many times.
Right.
Now they have to
They
have
start
that winning
thinking
bid.
about it.
Then all of a sudden they get the winning bid, and they're
They're like-
completely off their
Is it a
original game
buyer's
plan.
market right now? Like, I have no idea.
Sellers.
Sellers.
The
yeah.
buyers,
I'm sorry, yeah.
but the buyers put in. They may have wanted 4 houses before the house that they get.
Right.
So they lose this deal. They lose this
So
deal.
now
they
they're
lose this
just-
deal,
now
and
they're
they're
just
kind of just like it's a competition.
panic.
Now they just want a house.
Yeah.
And then when they go to bed and they're so
Yeah.
happy and they wake up and they're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what did we do?
Yeah, we don't really want that house.
So
Right.
when they meet up with you, all of a sudden you're seeing that buyer's remorse.
Well, I've already, and then it's like they're doing the numbers and they realize maybe it's a town that has more expensive taxes and all that, and they're seeing what the payments are.
Or the house is doesn't have the 3 bedrooms or
just-
the bathrooms that they need.
Yeah,
or
they just jumped right in, and then they just really
Can I
never
have a-
thought
can
about
I throw out
it.
a thought?
Yeah.
Should they think of that stuff before,
Well, I was
before
gonna
they put in?
I was going to just ask John
Yeah.
to your point was I was going to ask you, what would you tell a buyer, like they should go in with a cap,
I do, but what gets tricky is I just had someone put an offer in on a multifamily, and he's like, "Oh no, what did I do?" And I said, "Well, let's talk about this. We were talking about that the market rents for each unit should be $2,500." He goes, "Oh, I think they're more like $2,000." He goes, "Oh my God, I think this house is too much for me." So sometimes on the multifamilies, they don't. You might have someone living in the current tenants probably paying below market rent, so they really don't have time to figure out what the market rent is. Everything's
Right.
happening so fast, and then they realize they really can't afford the house.
Yeah.
And I qualified them at market rents of $2,500, and now they're thinking they can only get $2,200 for each unit. And I literally
do
I
they
had
know the difference between like a tenant at will and someone in a lease? Because what happens if all of a sudden that tenant moves out in 6
Yeah.
months? There's 2 months of no.
Oh, all those things, absolutely. No, they don't. And because I had one guy, he's like, "Oh, I hope my offer doesn't get accepted now."
Yeah.
He's praying.
I think
Yep.
that happens in a normal situation, even when you have all your ducks in a row.
Yep.
You put your house on the market and you're like, do I really want to sell my house? Because
Yeah.
now we're looking at stuff. Our house is
And
better
then
than what we're
once-
looking
and then
at,
once
or
it goes.
and then
Right.
once
Then
you're in a
stuck.
contract
Yeah.
usually with a
Exactly.
real estate agent and you can't get out
Exactly.
or whatever. But everyone has some sort of remorse, seller and buyer remorse.
Yeah.
But especially if you're out of your league. And you don't even know you're getting out of your league because you're so wrapped up in the competition.
And the problem with the
Absolutely.
bankers and the attorneys is they're usually getting to us very late in the process.
Right.
When they went to the real estate, that's when they probably should get coached on a plan in mind and to stay with that plan.
Well, right, you have to know what you're
by the time they
what
get
you're
us,
drop dead. Like
they've
I'm
already
only
signed
going
everything.
$20,000 over
Yep.
asking price, or I'm not. Like you know what I mean? Like
What
'cause
year did you work at the real estate?
God.
'Cause to Kathy's point.
93 to 2003.
Yeah, because right now
Okay.
things are going well over purchase price. I don't know if you saw that when you were at the real estate office. Someone will put, have a
Oh, no, I never saw that.
Yeah, so there might be a $500,000 house that goes for
$600,000 maybe,
Right.
right? I've been seeing. We saw something
Yeah.
like 80,000 over
Imagine
asking
that.
So,
price.
like bidding wars?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's hard to gauge too, because a lot of realtors now, their strategy is to list it below to create that bid
Yeah,
and war.
buzz, right.
So
I-
it's like, so now are you really paying more? Well, it depends on what similar houses are going for.
Right.
I should try to unload the dump we live in.
Think of all the memories, though.
How long you been in
No.
Plymouth?
We've been in Plymouth. We moved to Plymouth in '96. I was pregnant with my second, and we had a beautiful house, perfect house, crazy neighbors.
Yep.
So you fit right in.
Well, I was the normal one, believe it or not. Jeff.
Evolved.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. The neighbors across the street. Let's see. The son had an ankle bracelet, so he used to he was like Shawshank Redemption. There was just like a hole around the house. And
Was it a
like moat
herringbone?
that he would
Was it a
walk.
herringbone? Diamonds? What?
It was a blinker. Yeah. So I mean, we had then we had the one with the kept a Rottweiler chained up in the front yard, and it was just I couldn't wait to get out of there. So I bought my house that we're in now. We've been there for 13 years, I think. When Jimmy was at work, he was
Smart girl.
furious.
You bought a house and didn't tell
I
them.
did. I drove by. It was across the street from my best friend in this great neighborhood. Very small house, not functional for us at all. 3 bedrooms. We had 5 kids, 2 dogs. So I went in and I knocked on the door. It was a FISBO. for sale by owner.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. So I knocked on the door.
Content.
Who says we weren't going to talk real estate?
I said, "Can I take a peek?" So they brought me through. It was a door, like a little dollhouse, which is ridiculous. We have 5 filthy kids. I can't move into a cute little house like that. So I gave her a check for $18,000, and that was it. And I waited 3 days to tell Jimmy.
No.
Oh, I would have been running scared. I
was
can sneak the
petrified.
bags in. I can sneak
I
them
can
in.
sneak something from TJ Maxx in. I couldn't sneak a house
No.
in. I was sick to my stomach. I'm like, I can't believe I did that. But
Wow.
yeah, he got over it. The poor
He did.
thing.
How
He did.
long?
19 years. He's still not really over it.
So you've been here 13
So
years.
in this house, we've been 13 years. So we were in the other house 8, I think.
But this one's
It's
3-bedroom?
Yes, it's a 3-bedroom
For the 8 of you?
Nantucket Cape. Yeah, so Jimmy
Yeah.
and I. So the kids are upstairs, okay? They were all stuck together upstairs, very tiny bedrooms. Jimmy and I had to turn the dining room into the jungle gym, I like to call it. So at least there are already eye hooks in the ceiling for the trapeze where the chandelier was, But yeah, so we live on the first floor with like louver doors, like laundry room doors.
Yeah.
It's absolutely horrible. We are the biggest white trash. It's
Does your
awful.
best friend still live across the street?
She does. She
Oh,
didn't
good.
leave.
Oh,
Thank
good.
God. So that was worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
That was
totally worth it.
She's
And
the
you're
love
still
of my
best-
life.
okay,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
still best
my
friends.
daddy.
It's never a good sign when the for sale signs get thrown out there after you.
When the Hurleys pull
Right,
it
A
right,
couple
right.
have. A couple have. Yeah. I remember when we moved in, so I had the 5 kids, and the woman across the street had 2, and she was a helicopter mom. She was very panicky. And the weekend we moved in, my son, my baby was 2 at the time. He was riding up and down the street in a 2-wheeler in a pamper and a helmet. In November.
Oh, at least he had a helmet on.
He had a helmet on. In November, right? So she's standing at the top of her driveway. Like I said, sweetheart, you're going to have to get used to this.
This is nothing.
This is how we roll. Something happens to him, I'll make another.
She didn't hear about the lunch that your son packed, did she?
I'm sure she did. That was
Why
the
did you
big
tell-
gossip.
yeah, tell us about it.
It's
my favorite story.
Yep, the morning the school nurse couldn't stand me because I had called, at one point I'd called my daughter into the wrong school sick. And I called this school nurse, and she said, I'm sorry she's sick, but she doesn't go here.
I hope
So
she
I
feels
said,
better.
oh, my God. So, yeah.
And what did you tell the girl? Well, do you know?
I said, well, do you know where she goes?
I don't.
Because there's a lot of schools in this town. I can't be
Don't-
all
don't-
willy-nilly
don't make me
driving
call
around
every
all,
one of 'em.
Yeah, I can't be driving
I don't
around
have
all
time
day.
for
Yeah, I
that.
don't have time for that.
I got to get to my box of
You
wine.
work for the schools. You find her.
What, am I in charge of your job?
Are you kidding me? I pay taxes.
Right.
Get off your nursing desk and
You're not
find my
paying
kid. For the love of God. Oh,
I know.
my
And
God.
so what happened with your
So my
kid's
little
lunch?
guy, my 5-year-old, when he was all excited to start school, and I was tired, done, all set, and he begged me one day, I want to pack my lunch, pack my lunch, pack my lunch, pack my lunch. I'm like, pack your lunch. I'm paying him my... So he packed his lunch. He goes off, gets on the bus, goes to school. 3 hours later, true story, phone rings. Hello, Mrs. Hurley. This is Nurse Kane at the West School. I said, oh, great. What can I do for you, Nurse Kane?
No, you said, thank God. Now I know which school he goes to.
Yeah, that's the first thing I said. I said, oh, good. I know where he is.
I have a lead.
I have,
We've narrowed it down. Do you know where the other 4 go?
Yeah, because I haven't seen them since.
I got 1 out of 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
excellent.
And if the other schools call me today, I'll be doing fine.
This will be great. God, Yep. So she said, you have to come pick up Brendan in his lunchbox because he packed a leftover box of Kung Pao chicken, true story, and 2 wine coolers. Thought they were like, they had flowers on them, or strawberries on them or something. Thought they were, God love them.
that's
No
great.
guns or
That's
anything
true.
like that, though, right?
No,
just the
not
wine
that.
coolers.
Nope.
Yeah,
Yep,
good for them. Good for them.
Yep. God love them. I was proud of them for only packing that. So.
That's awesome.
Now you still
my
see
God.
these administrators every once in a
Oh
while.
yeah, I just actually that school nurse. I was the MC of her retirement party 3
Oh,
years ago.
no.
It
That's
was
awesome.
It was great.
Did you
it was one
mention
of my,
those stories?
Oh, I had those and many more, many more. The story about how I was trying to find Jimmy a place to get his vasectomy. She's like, I'll do it. She's like, put him on the table in the art room.
Outpatient.
Serious, right?
Yeah, I think she might have been serious.
That's what we call
poor Jimmy.
outpatient, right?
Yeah, they were really. They didn't want us having any more kids. They were willing to do it themselves.
People were lined up with the
They were.
saw.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody was taking numbers. We'll do it.
So that's what another option for the Sawzall, right?
Yeah, the Sawzall.
Don't
That's
even
the
start.
scariest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Do you know?
Don't. We've done so well.
Do you know?
Let's not go.
Rick
That's where the wheels come off.
Ricardo, up to about 30 days ago, did not know what a Sawzall was.
Oh, honey.
I don't get out
I
much.
know.
He's not very handy.
No.
When the light bulbs go out at my house, we move.
You know what a Sawzall is, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, Ricky, you're my dream man.
Yeah.
That's my kind of.
When it runs out of-
That's the response I would have liked to
That's my
hear.
kinda
Not
guy.
this one.
That's
Well, I wanted
This
to,
one.
We have our offices are next to each other, and I was like doing some hand signals, some kind of hand
Yeah.
signals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Gestures.
I
Yeah.
actually wanted him to see it, not see
Yeah.
my face. I
Yeah.
just wanted him to see the
that.
hand, like the wave
Yeah.
or whatever I
Yeah.
was going to do
You
for
were
him.
waving.
Yes.
Right.
And I said, I'm going to get a Sawzall, and I'm going to make a little hole. It
That's
was
perfect.
Not so he can see my face, so he
So
could
you could
just, I could just like,
hand.
yeah, see
Right.
the hand.
Right.
Just the
And
finger.
he goes,
yeah.
what's a Sawzall?
Ricky.
I
I
know.
know.
You know what I was really taken aback that she wanted to give me the finger.
I was waving.
I was floored.
I find ignorance charming.
But
That's why you've always liked me.
Yeah, exactly.
Rick, we can turn this into a positive.
Okay,
It
go
means
ahead.
you were listening to her.
Absolutely.
Yes, actually, yeah. You didn't just say, yep. Yeah.
The other day I was listening to her, but let me know if I'm making this up. I was underneath the desk, cowering from her. Am I making that up?
No. Oh, I did come in
Yeah.
to your office, and I had to pull you up by your neck.
Ooh.
Get back in your chair and
I
get to
have a
work.
brand new respect for you, honey.
I get the whip.
I
She's a
am
tough one.
I am
You'll see next
impressed.
week.
When I'm working there?
Yeah. Me and Christine will be passed out at the desk.
You guys. I am the worst employee God ever put on the planet Earth. Ever.
Would you say, for the love of God, stop calling here?
Oh, my God. I would be like, not again.
Oh, not another client
Oh,
who wants to give you money.
It's so annoying.
Oh, my God. Aren't they people are so annoying?
I
know.
wonder if we should have these two back next week.
We should, but John, do you want to finish up our? Did we finish up
I
our
know,
thought
John, I'm
process
sorry.
on the
I'm the
on the
worst.
buyer's remorse
The best.
You don't want
that
me in
isn't
your
really
office.
buyer's
Best.
remorse?
No, I think it's. I have a lot to say about this. No, so it really what it comes down to is.
There's a tease.
Stop interrupting him.
So when I meet with somebody, the very first question I ask them, and I know it kind of sounds like you're in a car dealership, but I really and it says, how much do you want to spend?
No, a mortgage banker would never talk like
How
that.
much do you want to spend per month for your home? Period. And then you're back into it. Because I remember a few years ago, I sat with someone, with the realtor, and I said, how much do you want to spend per month for your home? And she's like, $1,200 a month. And I go, and what kind of homes are you looking at? They're like $600,000.
Right.
Yeah.
And I said, we need to realign some expectations
Yeah.
here. You know?
Exactly.
So would you
not-
give
Yeah.
him a 40-year mortgage?
No, the
50,
meeting
yeah.
the meeting lasted 45 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. And so many times people just dive right into it and say, "Give me all your stuff." And the basic question is, how much do you want to spend? And that is everything.
Do you
'Cause
find people that come in like cold, are they educated or uneducated?
a little bit of both?
Really?
Has it
Yeah.
changed over the years? Are they getting more educated?
I think they are.
Yeah,
They
I
are.
agree with John on that.
Yeah.
A lot of our
'Cause-
buyers are very well prepared.
I mean,
and
15 years ago, they must just pulled in and had no clue. But at least
No.
because they didn't need any assets.
Well, they did have a clue.
Right.
They
and
did
they
have
didn't
a clue.
need any
but
income.
They had the wrong clue, and that was
Right.
they
Yeah.
were listening to their loved ones and all that, and say, no, you don't need to do this and that, and getting ill-advised. And it was back in the day before people had to get licensed. A lot of part-timers in the business.
Right.
That just
Well, and then they had those crazy programs that anyone could afford a house that they really couldn't afford.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because the most extreme program at the time was someone could buy a 4-family,
Yeah.
5% down. We didn't ask their income. We didn't even ask if they had a job or even where
Right.
the money came from.
They said, I make
So-
$10,000 a month, and
we
the
didn't even have
bank
to do
said,
that.
Okay.
Didn't even have to do that. That
Okay.
was the no-doc program. So at that point, I would at least say, all right, these are your monthly payments. At least I
For
took
this month.
every month. And then sometimes people say, oh, no, that's too much.
How could there have been a no-doc program? Like
Well, you give them a mirror and say, if you can fog this.
if you're
We're closing
breathing.
today.
Yeah.
But that's where now I have a good friend who's owns an auction company, and
Yep.
that's what she does, foreclosures.
Yeah.
And she is busy.
And I'll tell you how
Yeah.
that happens, Miss Hurley.
Yes, sir.
Let's hear it.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Maybe
I'm
next week
listening.
you could tell us.
Next week, I'll tell you the evolution to that.
Why don't we?
Yes.
Why don't
Yes.
you guys
The
come
rise
back?
and fall.
Yeah.
Would that be all right? Because
Would you guys come back?
I'd love to.
All
I'd
right.
love to. If
All
you'll
right.
have
Are you
me.
asking me?
No, we're telling you.
All right.
Yes,
then I'll be
exactly.
Because you've teased it, so now
Okay.
we got to have you guys
Oh, I would
back.
love that.
We're going to hear about your auctioneer.
Yep.
And
Great, that'd be
Kathy, we're going
awesome.
to hear how fun you had it at this week's worth of work at Carter Law Office, conveniently located in Salem, New Hampshire, Reading, Mass, and we were thinking of Revere, Mass, until we pulled the plug on that one.
No, I'm going to Revere. My
By
bags
yourself.
are packed.
With your lawn chair. I
Yeah.
don't blame you.
Cleanest water on the East Coast.
And
Yeah,
I'm gonna live in your friend's B&B Airbnb.
There you go.
They said they're coming back, so we can ask them a bunch more questions
All right.
next week.
Love it.
Thanks for
All right.
joining us on the Real Estate House Party. Christine Hurley,
Thank you, my loves.
Kathy Holtshouser, the two funniest female comedians out there.
Absolutely. Yes,
Yep.
we are.
Laverne and Shirley.
I'm
Yes,
glad he
we
thinks
are.
I'm funny.
Yes, we are.
And
We're like
John Morroni, the Iceman. We'll see you
right.
next
the
week. right?
Iceman.
You got it.
All right,
Thanks.
guys. Good
right.
job. That was so fun.
I think so. Yay!
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.